Are we up? Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Always excited to be with you. Always excited to share the news with you. Got some big news. To tell you, it was tough. Look, it's been a while since I've done a live on my computer, and I was actually having trouble. I kid you not. I was like, the computer, the camera, I had to wipe that because it was too, oh my gosh, it was too fuzzied over and whatnot. But just with everything going on, and of course, trying to take care of my mom's affairs and put together a service and all the other things. And there was just a bunch. So it's good to see you folks on. Please do chat it up with where you are from and who's on. I do see Don on. I see Constitution Vet is on. Yes, he made that. He made another video, folks. If you don't know Constitution Vet, he's got a great channel on YouTube and or CommieTube, if you want to call it that. But he does history, and but he also does mockumentaries. And so he did one on me, and he said that. Can you believe this? He implied that I wasn't good looking. Anyways, my daughter Abby tells me I'm the most handsome daddy in the world, so I'm just going with it. But hey, want to mention really quickly, Revere Coffee Company, reverecoffeecompany.com. Promo code Lumberjack will save you. Whoa, my phone's falling over here. Save you up, not up to, but it'll save you 10%. It's mypillow.com. Promo code Lumberjack that saves you up to 66%. Thank you so much to Mike Lindell. I think Mike Lindell has done more to support conservative patriots in their efforts to get the word out than anybody else. I will always be appreciative of him. Not that any of us always get it right, but he's out there doing it and he is supporting people. So I thank you for that. So again, yeah, geez, I see. Oh gosh, it's so good to see all you folks again. Donald, good to see you on. We got people from Australia on, Arlington, Washington. We've got Julie from Minnesota on, and all of you folks. So thanks so much for supporting me, and thank you for sticking with me in my absence. It's still going to be a little spotty, but as we come up on election season, I've got to cover more, and I've got a big interview coming up tomorrow night, and a band reunion tomorrow night. So there's big shows coming up. Okay. The band reunion is going to be on Marcus D's Rumble channel. So if you're not subscribed to that, you need to subscribe over on Rumble to Exposure is his channel, Marcus D, D-E-E. So that's going to be going on. I'm pretty certain at this point, the texts are coming in. Thanks, Jim. I saw your text. We've got everybody confirmed except for George. So anyways, I think it's going to be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, which means I will have to do the interview with the candidate for United States Congress, probably at either before or after. I don't know how that's going to go yet. Just keep your eyes open. I will post that up when it becomes available. So, I see Coley from Australia sharing the links. It's mypillow.com. Make sure you share promo code Lumberjack as well with that so they can get their 66% off. And for the same for Revere Coffee Company. All right, the end of the news. I've got some big news, actually. It's breaking all over the world. And you guys are seeing it. I mean, whether it's Sri Lanka, whether it's Denmark, it doesn't matter. Whether it's here at home, all over the world, the New World Order is falling apart. Their whole plan, I think they did too much too fast. Probably could have pulled it off if they'd waited a little bit longer. It's sad to say that, but people are really confused. I am very concerned still about issues of the moral issues and are turning away from God, especially as a nation here in America. That's destroying the country. So, but I want to get into why this is going so well, because I think what happens is it is always more difficult to operate in faith or operate in positivity. People see that as foolishness. They see faith as foolishness, and yet they see the very thing that is foolish, which is a complete lack of faith. They see that as being intelligent, that as being more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's on the tip of my tongue, and I just can't. More discerning, you guys probably have a good word for it. But the bottom line is, It's not. Operating outside of faith is actually what's foolish. See, and you go from faith to belief to knowing. Okay, that's like elk hunting. I know I love elk hunting, and you guys that have watched my other channel, Neil of the North, have seen some of my elk hunting videos and whatnot. But when before I got an elk, I had faith that I could go out there and find something. As I started to see elk, then I had belief. But once I got my first elk, I knew. Once I called my first elk in, I knew. I knew I could successfully call an elk in. Then I knew I could successfully call an elk into range. I knew I could successfully stalk an elk, and so on. And it became an act of knowing. Okay, so that's what this is. Okay, so we have to have faith. We have to have a knowing that God delivers. Okay, at the end of the day, God delivers. He is faithful. He is just. Okay, He is merciful. I remember as I was going through the experience with my mom, and it was very difficult. My mom was in a lot of pain. She had cancer, right? And at the end, she was in just a ton of pain. And I was praying for her healing or her ultimate healing. I figured it had to go one of two ways. Mom had to go home or the other. But I think there were still some things that were unresolved, and she still had to work through those. But see, God is not slack concerning his promises. This is a straight scripture verse. God is not slack concerning his promises, as men consider slackness, but he wishes that all should come to repentance. If you're still here, you still have things to work out. All right. So, but that's a big concern of mine. But I want to share this article. This is out of the AP. And a lot of people are saying, well, Neil, you're getting this all wrong. The narrative on this, you're getting it all wrong because what's happening is people are switching to Democrats just to vote in Republican primaries. I'm going to show you why that's wrong. It's not to say that that's not happening. It has happened. Okay. It has happened because the Democrats want to support people like Raffensperger down in Georgia, who's not really a Republican, or Liz Cheney out in Wyoming. But it doesn't matter because they can't get enough people to switch to support Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney's going down. Okay. There was big news out of the January 6th committee today. I'm going to share that with you. Basically, it's been canceled. It's a great story. So we've got that coming in. But watch this. Voters switched lopsidedly to GOP and warning for Dems. This out of the AP. A political shift is beginning to take hold across the United States as tens of thousands of suburban voters who helped fuel Democrat Party's gains in recent years are becoming Republicans. So this is where, the suburban voters, and it did, if you look by registration, right, and all this stuff. But now it is massively shifting to the Republicans. Across 31 states, about 2/3 of the voters who have switched their official party registrations in the past year has switched to the Republican Party, according to voter registration data analyzed by the AP. The phenomenon is playing out in virtually every region of the country. Virtually every region of the country, folks. Democratic and Republican states, along with cities and small towns, in the period since President Joe Biden replaced former President Donald Trump. So ever since people have seen how bad it is under lefty lunatics, do you guys understand that Republicans were out of power, I want to say, for 40 years? They never controlled all three branches of government, and they actually never controlled both the House and the Senate most of those years. And that's why you saw all this liberalism run amok. Now, we have a new problem, and that is Democrats acting like Republicans to get elected and saying the right things. And I'm going to show you a clear example of that. Let me just, I got to switch screens up here. So I'm going to go to share, and shoot, I'm going to have to stop that. Well, let me go through this. I don't like this feature of StreamYard, but let's see. Nowhere is the shift more pronounced and dangerous for Democrats than in the suburbs. Over the last year, far more people are switching to the GOP across suburban counties from Denver to Pittsburgh. Republicans also gained ground in counties around medium-sized cities such as Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Des Moines, Iowa. Ben Smith, who lives in suburban Larimer County, Denver, north of Denver, said he reluctantly registered. Listen to this. I want you to catch this story. This is common, and I've talked to other people on the street like this. Okay, so this guy, he switched and registered as a Republican reluctantly earlier in the year after becoming increasingly concerned about the Democrats' support in some localities for mandatory jabs, the party's inability to quell violent crime, and its frequent focus on racial justice. It's more so a rejection of the left than embracing the right, said Smith, a 37-year-old professional counselor. People, he is a professional counselor. You can't get more liberal as a profession than that, okay? Whose transition away from the Democratic Party began 5 or 6 years ago when he registered as libertarian. The AP examined data from 31 states in which voters explicitly registered by political party and which make the information available to the public. Across those states, nearly 680,000 voters changed their registrations in the past year, according to L2, a political data firm. Now they go on about while party switching is not uncommon, the data shows a definitive reversal from the period while Trump was in office when Democrats enjoyed a slight edge in the number of party switchers. Okay. But over the last year, 430,000 voters in those states shifted to the Republican Party compared with about 240,000 who became Democrats. Okay. So you can see the ratios there. Okay. It's basically 2-1. Okay. So the migration of thousands of voters, a small portion of the overall U.S. electorate, does not ensure widespread, but it does, people, because again, and I know I cover this at length, and I know the jadedness we are under because of past events, but you have to understand again how that took place, how it was done. I don't know if George is salvageable. I'll be honest at this point. I mean, I have some great listeners in Georgia. I'm so sorry. Your state is so pathetic. It's bad down there. But roughly 4 months before Election Day, Democrats have no clear strategy to address Biden's weak popularity and voters' overwhelming fear that the country is headed in the wrong direction with their party in charge. And while Republicans have offered, listen, so here's where it goes all AP on you folks. You ready? And while Republicans have offered few policy solutions of their own, the GOP has been working effectively to capitalize on the Democrats' shortcomings. Not true. The Republicans have played out, and actually the best ones. There have been some, yes, that have just gone along with being pathetic. But the best Republicans have offered strategies. You know what those are? We take away emergency powers. We end them forever. It needs to happen here in Minnesota for sure. I'll be doing an interview with Scott Jensen, who's running for governor in Minnesota. And that's one of the first questions I'm going to ask him. Are you going to sign a bill to end emergency powers here in the state of Minnesota? I think if you have candidates who you have got to press them on this issue more than anything, the end of emergency powers, period. Done. Okay. End of story. Look at this. Republicans benefited last year as suburban parents grew increasingly frustrated by prolonged pandemic-related school closures. Not only that, the woke agenda and trying to cover up crimes to support specific people groups. Okay. Let's see here. And as inflation intensified more recently, the Republican National Committee has been hosting voter registration events at gas stations in suburban areas across swing states like Arizona, Michigan, Nevada, and Pennsylvania to link the Biden administration to record high gas prices. The GOP has also linked the Democrat president to an ongoing baby formula shortage. So I don't care what Ronna McDaniel says. I'm not gonna go there. But I am gonna switch screens now because I got some other things to share with you. Okay, so we're gonna remove this, and then we're gonna add in a different screen. Here, stop screen share, and sorry, it's cumbersome. I'll be honest. All right. Okay, allow, but I want to go up to the top here. Okay. Speaking of this on inflation, okay, so I don't know if you guys saw this. This is just this last week, I think it was. This is when Joe Biden was talking about, my message to the companies running gas stations and setting prices at the pump is simple. This is a time of war and global peril. Bring down the price that you are charging at the pump. U.S. Oil and Gas Association responds, working on it, Mr. President. In the meantime, have a happy 4th. And please make sure the White House intern who posted this tweet registers for Econ 101 for the fall semester. Absolutely beautiful statement by U.S. Oil and Gas. But the real problem in the oil and gas industry is that Joe Biden and the Democrats as a whole, as a party, are so focused on the green agenda and promoting, electric cars, which doesn't work for people in rural America like me. It doesn't work for farmers, ranchers, anybody in that ilk. Okay, so I am seeing some new comments. I just finally saw the comment stream again. So if you've been trying to comment, I have not seen any of that as I was reading through the news there. But I want you to know that when you, I don't care what industry it is. So, for example, I'm in the business of photography. All right, photography and videography. Now, if they started making robotic photographers, right, and I might have to change my investments in photography. The same thing happens if you're in the business of providing energy. So let's say oil and gas or alternative forms of energy, and you have administrations and policies that are coming out on a worldwide scale that constantly focus on uh, the need to get rid of fossil fuels, right? Well, then what are you going to do? Where are you going to make your investments? Are you going to make it in more fossil fuels? It's an absurd statement by Biden. Here, I got a super chat. Listen to Silence It Speaks. Glad to see you back. We missed you. God bless everybody. I missed you too. I did. You guys are great. So thank you. Yeah, this Gates bug plant also burnt up. So there was a plant, actually a food plant over in the Netherlands, got torched. And I don't know why. We've seen lots of food, endless amounts of food storage facilities or manufacturing facilities going up in flames, an unusually high number. Okay. I don't know all the reasons why that is. Okay. But the bottom line is, it's been unusually high. And there's speculation, of course, over in the Netherlands because of the whole takeover, trying to take the land from the farmers through this whole nitrogen thing. And I shared a video on that with the Dutch farmers protesting. Okay. The global food supply is getting wrecked. That's for sure. So, but here and they're still trying to sell us on this. So I want you to, listen to the White House press secretary. What a fool. The January 6th thing, I'm going to save till a few more people get on. So let me just cover the little econ stuff here first.
We look at where we are economically, and we are stronger economically than we have been in history. When you look at the unemployment numbers at 3.6%, when you look at the jobs numbers, more than 8.7 million of new jobs created.
They honestly think we're that stupid. I mean, they must. They must think we're that stupid. Okay, we're going to get rid of all these jobs. Then we're going to have the people hire them back because we're going to have this crazy reaction to the pandemic. Okay. Oh, man. And then we're going to add all these jobs back in. But here, let me see. I got Beetlejuice up for you here. Let me go. I'm going to go back to this here. Okay. This is how dumb they think we are. I just want you to read it. Green fingers. Urgent warning to gardeners as soil increases risk of killer heart disease. Soil, people, soil. First it was global warming. Now it's the soil. Okay, it was global warming is causing this with babies. And then there is no sudden adult death syndrome, people. Okay? I mean, yeah, it's happening, but it's not because of that. Just here, I want you guys to know that there is hope, though. This is straight from the CDC. 70% of USA population have not had all 3 doses. That means only 30% have. Okay? So never forget, Biden, December 2021, this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. The unvaccinated, not the vaccinated. That's the unvaccinated. That's the problem. The problem. Anybody who's not, so 70% of America now is the problem. 54.7 million remain unjabbed. 37.9 received first, refused the second. 90.2 received second and refused the third. All along, we had been told the numbers were significantly higher, okay, of people who were doing this, trying to utilize peer pressure to force us along into this. So, but it's not working. Okay, I want to get onto this J6 thing, but I want to just go back to this. Bill Gates buying North Dakota farmland to control food supply. So, do you know that Bill Gates owned 270,000 acres, people? 270,000 acres of farmland. Now, why would Bill Gates do that? because Bill Gates knows that there's a currency collapse coming in. Whoever owns the food supply is going to be rich. If you ever saw the interview with Bill Gates, this is from years ago, he made a big thing about how much money he had made off of vaccines. And at that point, I want to say it was 2,000% return on his money on vaccines. Now he's going to try and do that with food. He got so excited. He gets so excited about making money. It's pretty wild. If you're not subscribed, please do so and smash that like button. Yes. And but that's what's going on there. But yeah, real quickly, I know there's a lot more people on than there was when I first made this announcement. I have an important interview tomorrow with a congressional candidate. That's going to be in the evening. I don't have the time on it yet because I am working on a band reunion with Marcus D. For those who aren't familiar with that, it's something you want to see. You want to make sure you're subscribed to my locals. I will post that there. But we are going to be doing a band reunion. We're going to be covering all the events of the world. I mean, there's so much going on right now. So don't miss that. That'll be tomorrow night. I believe it's going to be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We are just waiting on George. We're always waiting on George. I'm not kidding you. George, if you're watching, we're always waiting on you, man. Come on, get back with the time. Anyways, sorry. Little aside for you people, okay? Those who know. And I'm gonna just go. Where did that go? Bam. Okay. Now I want to go back to see where the comments are at. All right. Somebody just asked the question here: is Marcus still on YouTube? The answer is yes, he is. He's just not producing on YouTube. He hasn't been producing. Marcus had a third child. A lot of us really had to, I know like everybody thinks, oh my gosh, these people just do this and so great, but it is, you give up a lot of time, and you give up a lot of time with people closest to you, your family, and Marcus had certainly done that. And, he had to also, with his wife not working, he had to get back to work. And so that's he is definitely there, but he will be on the band reunion tomorrow night. He'll actually be hosting it on his Rumble channel. Okay, so again, make sure you're subscribed to lumberjacklogic.locals.com, and you'll get that for the band reunion. Okay, now let's see. So that's the Bill Gates. I want to talk about this. Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm going to do the video first. Watch.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political, or maybe precise, not and or political power.
It's just, people, he's a train wreck. The guy is a freaking train wreck. How do they parade him out there? Even with the teleprompter, the man can't hold it together. When are we going to start talking about removing this guy from office? Well, the problem is, if you look to the left of your screen behind him, you'll see why they can't do that. Because they would have an even more unpopular person in there, a person who just cackles the whole time. Okay? But now, here, I got to now add this back in. And you guys, so I know a lot of you probably saw that, but here's the real story. The White House transcript of Biden Mark is now incorrectly aligned with what this White House assistant press secretary falsely claimed on Twitter, despite the video showing Biden. Why is that? Hold on a sec here. My screen is going crazy. All right, there we go. We're back. Are we back on? Okay, so there, that's up. All right. So despite video showing Biden clearly stating, end of quote, repeat the line, and not let me repeat the line. So here you go. You can go down here, and they changed it. Okay. Percentage of men who do so. Let me repeat the line. This is, they are lying. It's not like everybody's seeing it, people. Everybody's seeing it. They went too far, too fast. Okay. Here, let me, here, I'm going to just remove that for a second. See if this is working out good. Am I back? I don't know. we're probably just having problems with the internet out here. So hopefully that. Let's see. Hey, someone from Alaska. All right, good. Thanks, folks. All right. They're honestly trying to tell us that what we heard isn't what we heard again, just like they did when Joey Bribes was talking about other irregularities. Yes, other problems, right? We didn't hear what we heard. Here, I'm going to show you something, guys. Here, I want to show you something really alarming. Actually, here, I'll show you something funny first. This is real. There he is. That's Rusty Bowers, for those who followed what went on in Arizona. He has secured our elections. This guy is amazing. This is Rusty Bowers. Unbelievable. Whatever. Guy's a yoke. So, anyways, I'm having some problems with the internet, but let me just get you to... Here's what I want to get you to. So hopefully this will hold through. Okay, so for those who don't know, Google, if you do this, because Pedo Peter this is trending. This is trending, okay? I want you to look at this. It looks like these results are... When did this ever... This is the first time I've ever seen this on a Google search. So... You shouldn't believe anything being published about Hunter Biden's cracked data because it's a breaking story. Funny, I've seen this before. I thought Google was a search engine, not a woke propaganda outlet that comments on the search results. But that's what they are right now. Okay? But this is what there is. So this person had tweeted this. There's a great deception that 4chan is going through the old laptop. Wrong. 4chan has Hunter's iCloud data cracked and is actively going through 500 gigabytes of new stuff. Understand this is nuclear. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on what 4chan's got or anything like that. But it is interesting. If I go to Brave, I'm not getting that. So here's what I'm getting on. And so I saw this posted. Somebody posted that on Gab. So then I went and pulled up the screen myself. There it is. Pedo Peter Biden. Check the source. Come back later. This is changing. Just don't trust anything. Here's Brave. They just give you a search result. So if you're not using Brave, I recommend it. You can get it in the App Store. If you want to, everybody seems to turn woke. You probably have to get a new one in the near future. Is searching for 12-year-old girls, and his father, the sitting president of the United States, is kind of like, is Pedo Peter. Mainstream media, silent. They're silent on this, okay? And I want to give you this reminder because this is so true. The biggest fine in U.S. history of $2.3 billion in 2009 for bribing doctors and suppressing adverse trial results. Pfizer, do you guys remember this? But now it's just whatever they say is the gospel. Are we really at that point where all of a sudden we're not supposed to question these large corporations? I thought that was something that liberals were all into. I mean, here it is, though. Conservatives are the ones. Like, I have no trust in these large corporations, none at all. It's amazing how these political winds shift, isn't it? Nuts. So quant search, I'm just looking back at the comments. Didn't CIA start Google? Who knows? Good night. I don't know. Do we know anything anymore? I mean, it's everything's so fake. Here, I gotta show you guys this one. They're saying we can have gatherings of up to 8 people without issues. I don't even know 8 people without issues. Oh man. Here. This is, again, going back to the U.S. Commerce Secretary, Gina Raimondo, said she understands that Americans feel frustrated with rising gas prices and food prices, but insisted that the U.S. economy is fundamentally very strong and can avoid a recession. Same thing that we're hearing from that lackey press secretary. Here's the real problem.
The States is leading the way. We provided Ukraine with nearly $7 billion in security assistance since I took office. The next few days, we intend to announce more than $800 million more, including new advanced Western air.
Hold on, I'm going to replay this. You guys got to see this from the beginning.
The United States is leading the way. We provided Ukraine with nearly $7 billion in security assistance since I took office. The next few days, we intend to announce more than $800 million more, including new advanced Western air defense systems for Ukraine, more artillery and ammunition, counter battery radars, additional ammunition for the HIMARS multiple launch rocket systems we've already given Ukraine.
Because, right, folks, that's what you're concerned about. I mean, you're concerned about, all the money we're sending to Ukraine while our country is falling apart. See, Americans know this. I'm even talking to liberals, and they know this. They're like, that's nuts. Okay. Alex, no, Wisconsin has not done any such thing. I just want you to know it's not happened. Nor has Arizona. I talk about the wins this way. And so just understand me on this, because I can understand how everybody is out there looking at this going, how can you say we're winning? Our border is a sieve. Okay. We're being overrun through our southern border. The pain at the pump, the food prices. Are you kidding me? Folks, I got 7 kids. Now 2 are out of the house now, but I got 5 still here in the house. Okay. Thank God I shot an elk last year. It's nuts. It's nuts. Okay. And my kids all shot deer. So we had 3 deer, that's how we live. Okay. But so I understand, people say this and then you go, Neil, and other things haven't been fixed yet. Other things. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Other things. Yeah. Haven't been fixed yet. I understand. I understand all your concerns. I understand how you feel that way. But here's the thing. This too shall pass. And the reason it's going to pass is because it's all being exposed. And people are rising up, not just here. Did you guys see Sri Lanka? Did you see Sri Lanka? They just stormed the palace and had a pool party. Their leader is gone. There's uprisings in Denmark. There's uprisings. It's all over the world. Trust in the mainstream media is at an all-time low. 11% for TV news, I think was the number. 11%. People don't trust them anymore. People know that they're filling them full of crap. They're seeing it. Okay? And this too shall pass. Okay? And I want you to clearly hear that, because people are going to say, oh, Neil, but what about 17 states now have passed real, reform. Okay. Well, a couple of them weren't as real as they should have been, but a fair amount of reform in, election integrity measures. Okay. We've got people removed from voter rolls. We have more poll watchers showing up, and people say, oh, well, they'll say, well, it's, what about the machines? I understand all this. People, I truly wish that free speech was a thing over here on CommonTube, but it's not. And that's why we're going to do a band reunion tomorrow night. Okay. On Rumble. This is a billboard for me to get to you to say, hey, come and watch that. So make sure you're subscribed to my Locals channel. Mods, please share the Locals channel link. lumberjacklogic.locals.com. But all across, see, Africa, I saw Africa's next in line. Do you know that the African folks, they won't take the jab? And then you guys want to see a true hero? Watch this.
My decision was not going to Australia, and I was prepared not to go. And I understand that.
For those who don't know who this is the greatest tennis player in the world, Novak. The guy's, I don't watch tennis, but I have seen a few of his highlights. He's unbelievable. I played tennis for a short stint back when I was young. It's a tough game. Okay. It is so just, it's a very athletic game.
Not being vaccinated today, I'm unable to travel to most of the tournaments at the moment.
And that's the price you're willing to pay?
That is the price that I'm willing to pay.
Ultimately, are you prepared to forego the chance to be the greatest player that ever picked up a racket, statistically, because you feel so strongly about this jab?
Yes. I do.
But as things stand, If this means that you miss the French Open, is that a price you'd be willing to pay?
Yes, that is the price that I'm willing to pay.
And if it means that you miss Wimbledon this year, again, that's a price you're willing to pay?
Yes.
Why, Novak? Why? Why?
Because the principles of decision-making on my body are more important than any title or anything else.
Folks, that is awesome. There are very few people who will give up what he is willing to give up. People are caving for a lot less. Okay? But it gets better, because guess who just won the tournament? What are they going to do? See, sports revolves around money and sponsorships, right? And marketing. If you have all your best players say no, there's no best players to watch. Do you know what that does to Wimbledon's ratings, the French Open's ratings, if they're not willing to have him in? Remember the Australian Open wasn't willing to have him? Tank their ratings. Okay? If you and your people around you are willing to say no, do you realize I have friends in the National Guard? 18 to 20% refused. The Guard can't lose 18 to 20%, people. They can't. They can't. So you know what's happened so far? Because this was supposed to be at the end of June. They were all supposed to get the boot. Maybe it'll still happen. Maybe they're so stubborn and stupid they'll do it. But I don't think they will. Because they can't give up 20% of their force. They can't. Okay? So if you just stick together and say, no, we have freedom. We have our ability to make our own choices. That's how you fight this stuff. You fight it united. Okay? Look at this. I'll show you. This is right from the WHO, so this is good. The flu has returned. The flu has returned. Look at this. It's unbelievable. Look, folks. It's returned. It's returned. Ah, how stupid do they think we are? Do you see this? So a 3-star Denu who repeatedly risked his life for us gets punished for a comment protected by the First Amendment. He's not in the Army anymore, folks. He's a consultant. If Jill and company are so sensitive, find a safe space with other birthing people. This is the statement. So Jill, over Twitter, for nearly 50 years, women have had the right to make their own decisions about our bodies. Today, that right was stolen from us, Biden tweeted. Glad to see you finally know what a woman is, Valesky said. It's a brilliant tweet. Anyways, you can't have that around. Hey, folks, want to get the coolest...
That's another saying. The women...
I'm sorry. Bam. I thought that was up, so I was showing you the tweets. But there you go. Coolest conservative merchandise is at lumberjacklogicshow.com. Get your Let's Go Brandon 1776 merch and other cool stuff that's too hot to even show on the screen over here. Be censored. It's unreal. It's ridiculous. Anyways, let me see here. I got to check if there was a... that's the Charlie Kirk thing. I got that to you. Oh, I do want to mention this. Between now and September 30th, Biden AG Garland will decide whether to pull plug on Durham's probe or let it ride into next fiscal year. And he'll be aided in the decision by Lisa Monaco, who was involved in Russiagate meetings at Obama White House, and Maggie Goodlander, who's married to Durham subject Sullivan. Now, I know we did not get the verdict we wanted, but it was still exposed as to what was going on, which further exposes the evil of the corrupt jury in D.C. Smash that like if you would, and share the content out there, and subscribe if you haven't. But I know we didn't get to, but it still exposed it, and exposes them for the liars that they are. Sussman was guilty. Everybody saw that. That's like saying, OJ wasn't guilty, right? Everybody sees it. All right. So let's see. I want to see if this one's coming true. Guys, you got to watch this. This is hilarious.
Folks, just wait till Memorial Day and our summer. It will be the summer of joy in Chicago.
You guys see, this is back from May. How's that working out? Has it been the summer of joy in Chicago? Okay, I want to get to the J6 stuff. There's a number of yawns, so I want to get to this because this is a big story. Let's see, I got to stop the screen share because now I got to share the screen again. Hold on a sec. And you know what I need? I need a producer. Okay. And we're going to allow that. And we're going to go here. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but President Trump wrote a letter the other day. Basically, he gave Steve Bannon the ability to just be in front of the show trial that's going on. It's theater. It's political theater. It's not even a hearings. It's just a joke. Okay, but the J6 committee cancels Thursday hearing after Steve Bannon says he will only testify live and in person and after release of explosive Gateway Pundit report. So Steve Bannon, President Trump released him from executive privilege, said, hey, go tell him everything. And so then Steve Bannon says, live and in person. And now all of a sudden it's done. It changes the anticipated schedule of high impact hearings amid a series of maneuvers by potential witnesses and Steve Bannon's indication that he's willing to testify on his own terms. According to the Daily Mail, the panel had planned to hold a Thursday hearing in prime time that would be its second televised evening event. But that changed when Steve Bannon announced over the weekend that he would testify live and in person before the committee. The sham committee of Never Trump politicians have no interest in reporting the truth, and they know they can't control Steve Bannon. The sham committee must be worried that Steve Bannon will bring up the Gateway Pundit's explosive reporting from earlier today on the FBI operative inside the Proud Boys organization. So again, this goes back to Adam Schiff. It goes back to Whitmer. It goes back to all this stuff. It also goes, the FBI has planted people. There was a kid on bank robbery who he had no access to anything. He was not mentally competent, and the FBI supplied him with everything. We'll find out more. The FBI is a criminal organization at this point. The Gateway Pundit released whistleblower documents, text messages, and transcripts that show the FBI knew the Proud Boys were innocent, yet persecuted them anyway. If you didn't get that story, you can check that out. It's on the Gateway Pundit. It's very good. This should be the end of Chris Wray's career. He can never be trusted again. Liz Cheney knows Steve Bannon will discuss this during the show trial. They don't have the intellectual heft to take on Bannon. Here's our explosive report by reporter Kara Castrovona from this morning. So they all lied, and we have proof. Highly sensitive DOJ January 6 documents leaked to the Gateway Pundit. FBI confidential human source infiltrated Proud Boys, ran FBI operation on J6, reported they were innocent. See text and documents in full. Okay, so I encourage you to go check that out. That's on the Gateway Pundit. I'm coming to the end of the show here, so I want to just again. I know I've been out for a little while, and I'm not going to be as steady, but I am going to be interviewing some people coming up. I talked to Scott Jensen on the phone. I'm going to get him on the show. I've got another guy running for Congress. That'll be tomorrow night, as well as the band reunion. Again, lumberjacklogic.locals.com. You do not have to pay anything. Okay, please. I mean, I just wish people like, I can't pay. That's fine. Some people support me over there. I understand that people can't. Times are tight. Man, a living. I'm not going to tell you to, if you want to support me, great. If you don't, that's fine too. But just get over there and register. So it's where I can actually post posts. I mean, completely uncensored. I've never had anything censored on Locals. There's some other great follows over there too. There's some people reporting live from Ukraine. If you're concerned about what's going on over there, here, I'll pull this out real quick. So go check that out. Okay. But lumberjacklogic.locals.com. Make sure you're subscribed over there. When I get that link from Marcus, I will put that up. So it'll be easy for you to get to the band reunion. That's going to be tomorrow evening. I do believe we're still waiting on George. Maybe he's gotten back to us now. George. Nick is in. Brian's in. Marcus is in. Come on. George. Anyways, so make sure of that. Also, please support the sponsors. I mean, they're great. Okay, seriously, these are Patriot-owned businesses. You can support them instead of some wokesters. RevereCoffeeCompany.com. Revere, like Paul Revere. The Rebel. This espresso blend is great. I also really like the Patriot. Great coffee. The Giza sheets from My Pillow. Or if you don't have, did I bring that back here? Look at this. Get yourself show your support for Canada and Canada truckers. Still, they are fighting the good fight up there in Canada. Okay, don't think they're not. But this is the travel pillow. I take it on my elk hunts to the Boundary Waters everywhere. Here, I'll show you something really cool with this. Let me see. So I like My Pillow. Some people say, oh, well, they're kind of lumpy. Well, what you do, it's different foam and it gives you support. But look at this. This is it. This is the travel pillow. It folds into itself. It's called a roll and go pillow. Put it in my backpack, take it out there, and then I'm elk hunting. Oh, it's just glorious. Anyways, so yeah, and those Giza sheets. So please support the spot. Aloha Preppers on. Look at that. Woo! Hi, aloha. Anyways, Weldon, Julie Green is on vacation, unfortunately. Thank you for asking the question. Julie is on vacation. Okay. So again, lumberjacklogic.locals.com, reverecoffeecompany.com. Use the promo code mypillow.com. I think I pinned, maybe I didn't, but here I will share this with you too. If you guys want anything in terms of like prepping, I've got a friend, he just bought a freeze dryer. But this, I'll post this on here, Command V. So this is the link for my Patriot Supply. You have to use that link, but they're running some specials and whatever. But be prepared. I mean, this food shortage is all crazy. I'm not going to try and scare you. I'm not going to use kind of like fear stuff. I'm just going to tell you, the world is unstable and it's uncertain. I will tell you that I prepare to a certain extent, but there's only so much preparing you can do, right? So I prepare in terms of like I'm not preparing for years and years. Because I mean, I've got a garden and I'll continue to harvest game and all that kind of stuff. But I prepare, so I've got I want to have like 6 months that I can work through things. I mean, you got to give yourself breathing space. And does that make sense? And so you have time to figure it out and adapt and change and things. So if we go apocalyptic, I don't know. It's just what it is. What about medication? Kind of medication. I don't take medication. I don't believe in drugs. I just don't. Seriously. You go to the doctor and what do? They just prescribe drugs. That's healthcare now. It's nuts. Yeah. Hey, Fitzcrafter's on. Good to see you, Dan. Good to see you. Look at that, great folks. So it's good to see you all on. It's Matt Cassoni's on. Look at that. Matt was number 37, I think, or something like that. I don't know. One of my first subscribers. Sorry, I'm just, I'm just kind of going through some things now. Coley from Down Under, he's been listening for a long time. I just got off all meds. I'm good now. That's right. You need some basic, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Maybe an EpiPen if you need that or something, but what I'm talking about. I just am not into that. So drug companies have not been all that great. So anyways, dehydrate. We just got a dehydrator. So I may have a sponsor on my Neil of the North channel for that kind of stuff. And if you guys like some more of the prepping type of stuff or off grid, I live off grid. You're gonna have to go check out my Neil of the North channel. I'm working on a big project on my Suburban right now, and I'm just collecting all the video. We've done a couple lives on it, but one of the things that we're doing to prepare is we're taking a 93 Suburban, and because it's easily modifiable to carburation. It currently has throttle body injection, which I like, but we're working on that. We were soundproofing it and everything, so we're gonna make it real nice. But it's not that expensive to do. And I got the vehicle for a couple $1,000s, and then the other vehicle for $1,000 to cannibalize to get, the nice interior parts and everything. So, yeah, thanks, Keith. Yeah, more Miracle Cow, folks. If you don't know, my cow. Yeah, it was a miracle, absolute miracle. Basically raised from the dead. I got a friend. Here, I'll tell you a quick story. I got a friend. He had kind of walked away from the Lord. I don't know if I ever told you this, but he had gone to ministry school, kind of walked away from the Lord, and he just, he wasn't like off. He didn't become like a drug addict or anything. He just lost his first love, and so, and then, a couple things went bad and whatever. I won't get into his whole story, but the bottom line is they went in to have their child, and their baby was stillborn. So the baby was dead. And, the doctors tried to revive it. Of course, they did what they could do. But it was like 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes, 20, 29 minutes, whatever. And they tell my friend Andrew, they say, you need to go say goodbye to your baby. He said, I walked into the other room, Neil, and they had, there's the body of my baby lying on a cold steel table. And somehow perfect faith came over him at that point. And he went over and he placed his hand upon his child. And he said, in the name of Jesus, you will breathe. And just like that, this kid took a breath. The nurses freaked out. Did you just see that? She was over at our house. She's running around just fine as can be. Okay? Totally resurrected from the dead. We do not give God enough credit for the miracles that are happening all around us every day. Okay? So, when I was praying for my mom, I hope for a miracle, but I told my mom, I said, I think it's going to take God gives us all a measure of faith. I think it's going to take a measure of faith on your part. And, eventually I think my mom was just ready to go home. So that's fine too. That is the ultimate healing. There's a song about that. Home free. Eventually, at the ultimate healing, we will be home free. So there's no better place to go. So I don't know. We're living in a world. God shows His hand all the time, and yet people choose not to see it. So I love y'all. Keep the faith. Keep up the good fight. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. When you're not producing content, you lose subscribers. So I'm down on subscribers. Not that that's the biggest deal. I enjoy the people like Hannah Awesome, who's been on, Julie Erickson, Uric, all these people who have been on this channel forever. Donald, Aloha Prepper. Look at all you people. Coley, Dan. I love you guys. I really do. And I'm going to be doing a live stream with Constitution Vet as well. That's going to be coming up. I want to help him get his watch hours up. He's never been monetized, and he should be for the content he's producing. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do so. That's Constitution Vet on YouTube. I will try and get you a link here really quick. Let me go like this. We'll go to YouTube, and I'll get it for you because he's on my subscriptions, because I'm subscribed. I'm subscribed to Constitution Vet. So let's see. Over here, subscriptions. I'm going to get you this link. Oh, it doesn't show up the same way it does on my phone. I never use it here. It doesn't have like the list. It doesn't show up. It just shows up with like here. I'll just search it for you. But oh, there he is, Constitution Vet. He did a really funny piece. Okay, Command C, and here you guys go. So you can subscribe to him. Oh, Coley found it. Look at that. What am I saying? Look at that. He's all over it. Okay. Here's my Neil of the North. If you guys want to watch us tear apart Suburbans and putting them back together and kind of prepping that way, and we do other kind of stuff. foraging for food, all that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of food right out in the woods around you. Okay, there is. You ever have wild ramps? Those things are fantastic. There's mushrooms you can get, not the ones that make. Anyways, yeah, the remastered Tom Hogger video. So I know we're just kind of hanging out talking, and I'm coming up on 55 minutes. I don't want this to go too long. But I just want to thank you all. Thank you for all the prayers for my mom. Thank you for all the prayers for me. Father God, we just come before you right now, Lord. In the mighty name of Jesus, we thank you for our nation, the United States of America, and we thank you for all the people on from other nations, from Great Britain, from Australia, and so on. We pray for their nations. Australia's in a world of hurt. New Zealand's in a world of hurt. Lord, the forces of evil are really on the move. They're always there, but Lord, we just ask that you would come against them on behalf of your saints. We just ask that you come against them. Pray that you end this corrupt administration here in the U.S. Bring it to an end. Bring it to a close. Give us a massive victory in the midterms, and not only change the hearts of these people in Congress who are these just complete rhino flakes, Lord. Open the eyes of the people to be able to see it. I feel like this is part of the great shaking, Lord. You're just shaking all things and allowing it to be seen. You're holy, you're just, you're righteous, you're pure. We're all going to cry out to you, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. Holy, holy, holy. That's what we're going to say. Just thank you, Father. Thank you. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. So there you have it, folks. Keep the faith. Keep up the good fight. Okay? I love you all. Peace out.